Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana seems to be struggling at the moment a little bit to push higher. I think that is related at the moment to the current slight weakness in the Bitcoin chart. I did mention it in the Bitcoin video that we can see Bitcoin possibly needing a little bit of a retracement down. But for the details, watch the Bitcoin video. We talked about Solana here, which obviously exited already for the third time now, my target area again. That was the target area it did come into with the highest probability to turn around. In the target area, we then observed that descending wedge. So that was a breakout pattern, a possible reversal pattern, which became much more likely after we broke above that 20 and also the 50-day moving average. Since then, we've been moving up, and we have also crossed that $105 level. So those two previous rejection points, or even here it was resistance. So it's a very important level, that $105 level. Told you that after we break that, we should really get to that $122 level. At the moment, Solana seems to struggle a little bit. I mean, we are still holding above $110, but what you can see on the chart, what I spotted in the chart, is two things here on the 4-day chart. You see a bearish crossover now. Now that is not massive, but whenever you get a bearish crossover, you could, on the 4-day chart, you're probably in for a bit of a further retracement now. I imagine we could even come down to maybe, in the first instance at least, $105. I mean, if you look at the chart, we actually were already at 107, 106 with that wick down here. But that a dip to 105 as we did here on the 28th of March, certainly possible. Yeah, certainly possible with a bearish crossover on the 4-hour chart, especially as what you can see here is higher highs on the price chart, on the 4-hour chart again, and lower highs on the RSI, indicating a bearish divergence, indicating that we could really see now a little bit of a retracement. That increases now the chances that we are going down, or at least temporarily have a little bit of a setback. Now, anybody who missed buying in, maybe that is your opportunity, but that's obviously up to you. Also, it's hardly possible to say where we are going to retrace to. I mean, of course, the price can just not care and start to go up from here. But usually what you see, and again, it's always about probabilities, usually what you see now would be a retracement down with that 4-hour negative momentum starting to come in, especially that bearish divergence as well. And we also see that bearish divergence on the MACD. So, and it's the 4-hour chart, so it's a bit more meaningful than the 1-hour chart. I mean, on the 1-hour chart, you saw that bearish divergence already as well play out. You can see that here, where we had lower highs, but higher highs on the price chart. Looking on the daily chart, we can also see that now we have a long wick to the upside, 2 long wicks up, which is also not a great sign. I mean, the current daily candle is showing the opposite. So there's a bit of indecision going on here. But on the daily chart as well, you can see the MACD potentially. It's a bit too early to confirm that. But we have the first light green candle here as well. And the RSI is getting close to being overbought. So we're getting close to an overheated market. My view was that we could definitely with that still reach the $122 level without a stronger retracement. But as you know, nothing, first of all, moves in a straight line, and Bitcoin is a little bit more overheated, and therefore if Bitcoin makes a dip, likely Solana is going to do a dip as well. So maybe prepare yourself mentally for a little bit of a dip, but I think we should continue to move up from here afterwards, given my scenario for Bitcoin now, that we actually should reach at least 51k in the current scenario before we come down, but more likely even 55 to 61k. So that would give Solana more upside as well. Also, given that Solana, for example, here on the 4-day chart, doesn't show any reaction yet. So we see that the bullish momentum is increasing on the 4-day chart. Solana is also here getting close to the 50 level on the RSI on the 4-day chart. Not yet bullish momentum, but getting close. What is a little bit concerning is that it did not manage to do that bullish crossover here on the 4-day chart. So I would love to see that as a further confirmation for further upside. Now, we haven't seen this yet. We only see it currently on the MACD, which is relevant, but that momentum indicator normally needs to be crossing as well. Now, it did cross that momentum indicator already on the weekly chart, and therefore I think it's only a question of time until it crosses on the 4-day chart. We had that cross on the weekly, but on the weekly, on the other hand, we haven't seen a MACD crossover bullish. Okay, so still waiting for this other confirmation as well. But for Solana, for me, until we break, I would say until we break at least the $122 level, but better even here in the region of $160, I'm not convinced that the low was already in, and there is still a lot of downside potential. So I'm not convinced. A lot of people are already talking about the alt season. I mean, does something like an alt season even exist, or is it a matter of the past? I don't know. People also talk about the 4-year cycles, where you can actually see that every cycle has been a bit longer than the previous one. So yeah, I'm a bit skeptical about that the low is already in and that we already start to new all-time highs. It's getting more likely that the low was already in, the higher we go, of course. But then what we want to see is at least a break of the $122 level. And what I also need to see then is a clear 5-wave structure. At the moment, what we see here still looks very much like a 3-wave structure. So indicating that we could, in another move, really come down once more. So it's not confirmed yet at all, even though we did reach that target area. And I told you that in the target area, there's a high chance that the price is going to turn around. Now, the problem with that is that it can turn around, yes, but it doesn't mean that the correction necessarily has to be over. There is still a lot of space in the target area for further downside, possibly to $55, the 78.6% FIB level. And when everybody's getting too bullish, that is sometimes when you see another capitulation dip. But again, it could be already in that low, so it's too early to confirm it. And that's the gamble we all need to undertake and the decisions we need to make. What are we looking out for? Personally, I did buy in the target area to be prepared for any kind of upside, and in case of a further dip, I would have bought even lower once more. So that's where we are at the moment. For me, basically, win-win, yeah, because the price potential to the upside for Solana is really above at least $420. Talking about the 200% as well, which is possible, absolutely. I mean, the $421, that is really the minimum, okay? So you would look at more likely $520 and maybe even $680 in the next major wave to the upside. And that's my view here on Solana. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.